Go to Wroxeter, Roman city. I just want to have a quick look at the River Severn at Atcham, nearby Atcham. They're all also advertising, don't know how to pronounce it, St. Eater's Church. What's that? The 11th century. So here's the River Severn. This might all belong to the. There's a hotel there. So I parked there, but I'll only be here for a few minutes. Yeah, but it doesn't say private. Okay, so I just wanted to look at the Severn, plus this old bridge. This is now, well, I think it's now a pedestrian bridge. So we've had quite a bit of rain recently. So this is the mighty River Severn. Sabrina is the kind of name given to this river by the mystics. Look at that, here's a bit of water in it. Seems to be quite a few people here, I don't know. I don't know if they've all come. Oh, there's someone just, I can't quite see it. You know, there's kind of like one of these paddle boards. Yeah, there seems to be quite a few people, and there's some kind of function maybe going on. Yeah, that's what it is. A wedding. Look at that. Yeah, cheers. Yeah. And the old Rolls Royces. Okay, so no problem. That's why there's no parking here. Imposing entrance to Atcham Park. Atcham Park. I think it's a popular place to go on a Sunday. Okay, I'll cross the bridge. This was the old bridge that crossed the Severn. Right next to it is the new bridge. Well, it's not that new, but yeah. It's kind of like the style of architecture, similar. They kept it similar to this bridge. I'll just go up here just a few steps just to yeah, see the mighty Severn. Britain's though there's, as I say, between no one quite knows which is the mightiest river in England, the Severn or the Thames. Okay, there it is, very nicely. That's nicely positioned. I like these. They're always positioned back in the early ages, the far distant past. They positioned these churches and monasteries in excellent positions. Okay, so I might just have a quick walk around the church before I leave. So, as I say, I didn't plan on coming around this church, and I apologise to those who want to get to see the Wroxeter Roman city, which is, well, just a mile or so, or maybe 2 miles down the road. Yeah, 2 bridges side by side. Quite impressive bridges. Okay, so again, it might not be one of these. It might be one of these churches that's no longer. I didn't intend to go inside, but just as well I didn't, because I can hear there is a service going on. It is Sunday, just after 12 midday, and that looks like the what do you call it, the Rectory right there. Because I'm a Caddo member, or a member, which means I'm also a member of English heritage, I because then normally, well, I won't go through all this. There's a lot of information here. You could spend a good half an hour in here just soaking up all this information. But this was supposed to be the fourth largest Roman city in Britain back, well, 1800, or no, more than that, 1900 years ago. Yeah, so, yeah, so, well, I'm out of the wind here because unfortunately it's a windy day again. And it's going to be an audio problem. But there's the, that's interesting there. Showing the size of the original city. Artist's impression, of course. So it was a vast city by Roman standards in those days. And the only reason it's what the fragments that have survived is because it wasn't built over like the other large Roman cities at the time, like London and York. They were built over in later centuries, and not much is left of the original Roman city. And of course not much is left of this Roman city, because all the, when it was abandoned, up until quite recent times, all the buildings were used pilfered to build for other buildings outside. Okay, yes, all right. That's the. I just go around. I'll go around the replica house first of all. I'm shining right now. Sure. Looks pretty promising. Okay, we'll have a look at the Roman townhouse first of all. But no, this isn't the Roman townhouse. It's all. I like it here. It's. I have been here before. It's a good place to spend an hour. Well, that doesn't look lived in, but okay, this was the Roman Forum, and that's this has been excavated, of course. The excavation started, I think, back in the 19th century. So those are what the supporting columns of the buildings, which, of course, well, there might be still. Kind of like the base of the buildings might still be, to some extent, still there underground. Okay, I'll go and look at the reconstructed Roman townhouse. Okay, continuing on, I think. Kind of like, yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Okay, there it is. Yeah, can you see that's the kind of like a living room by the look of it. Come dine, no, dining room. Yeah, guests were entertained. Yeah, and of course, well, this very well could be like a modern house. Yeah, it's, they certainly lived, well, if you were lucky enough to be fairly wealthy in those days, you could, yeah, you could, live quite a comfortable life. Let's see, what's this, a private space? Roman town had a small room, sleeping, studying and private meetings. Okay. pause button, you might better read the information on that. Now over there you can see the distinct outline of the Shropshire Hills, some of the Shropshire Hills there. Now, you can see those are volcanic, those are results of volcanic eruptions many millions of years ago. Yeah, volcanic eruptions, which of course long since dormant, right? But they were formed by, formed in that way, like, well, the island of La Palma is currently undergoing an eruption in the Canary Islands. Alright, so let's have a look at this room. See what this says. Okay, not quite sure. Oh, yeah, those wouldn't be original tiles, so who knows, I don't think they are. It might be, yeah. Alright, so, mosaics I should say. Okay, so this is nothing in here to speak of, it's just shows the, well, I presume these would have been bedrooms. And that would be, it had small windows, which might make sense here, no heating loss. But they were heated, I think, well, they were heated, yeah, they did have central heating. As I say, the Romans established this fort in AD 55 because it had an excellent view of the surrounding countryside. And okay, I'll just have a look at that one last room. There's the guy there's, I think they're employees of the this facility giving information about the that was probably rented out, that room, by the owner of this house to market sellers, because all this was kind of like a market, a forum, right? Yeah. So okay. This was the Basilica, the largest of the buildings. Kind of impressive, very impressive. But this is the length of it. You can see right there. It's, what is it, about? Well, it's already, yeah, it's 245 feet long and 66 feet wide. There's the visitor centre and museum. Okay, so this was all, as I say, kind of pilfered. I think this was probably, these are probably put here deliberately. I don't know if they're the original. The support columns, right, for this very large building. Now this wall here is apparently the largest remaining Roman structure in still standing, right, in the country. So it's doesn't well, when you compare it, say, with the city of Rome, like the Colosseum, places like that. But still, it's something to boast of, right? I can feel 1 or 2 spots of rain, so I think I'm all right. It's just the, oh yeah, there it is, which, yeah, it doesn't look too promising. Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those days when, well, autumn day, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so this is interesting here as well. The main range of the baths can be seen in front of you. Okay. Air heated by a furnace at the far end of the baths, circulated. Okay, so this is what the big thing with the Romans apparently was, the bathhouse. Yeah, so these are the remains of the, I don't know, something Hyperconian or something, I'm not quite sure how, yeah, kind of like Latin names for the circulated air underneath. So they had central heating, in other words. Yeah, so that looks like a shower coming. So that doesn't look all that promising. But this is all, of course, original Roman. There wasn't this. That's been left. Well, it may have been buried. Yeah. This is Sunday, so this would be one of the most popular places for the public to visit these places. And yeah, there's a shower over there, but I'll see what happens. It's a typical, what they call it, the hot room, but I guess I don't know if that would be the bathhouse or like a typical bathhouse. I don't know. Yeah, there's the furnace. There's all the underfloor heating arrangements. Yeah, down there. Now I don't know if you can hear me because it's really blustery today. Now I'll just point out that's another volcano, the Wroxeter, and of course millions of years extinct. A very notable landmark in this area there, the Wroxeter. You can see, I think about 50 miles around. Yeah. Okay, there's more information on the bathhouse. Quite interesting. As I say, I have been here before, roughly about 10 years ago. That kind of replica Roman townhouse, I think, has been built since I last came. Okay, so this was the outdoor bathing pool. Yeah, there they are. Back in the good old days. Yeah, over here, eh? Well, that shower's on the way, but I just might be able to beat it before it arrives. I'm slightly out of the wind here, so yeah, so that's an excavated, of course, the remains of the bathing pool. So this was originally built in AD 50, not long after the Romans first came, or first invaded, just a few years, and they built this fort in a very good position with the Severn just close by as a defensive feature. But and it housed about 6,000 troops. So obviously there was resistance to the Roman invasion and occupation by the locals, and of course the Welsh. I don't think was subjugated to a. Well, this was probably one of the positions. The Welsh didn't take too kindly to the invaders either, and they, over 2,000 years later, I don't think they still do take too kindly to invaders. Okay, so these remains here are basically the centre of the old city, which it remained a city after I think the Romans left for some time. And then, of course, all the stones were used as quarry material. But at least, again, impressive remains. As I say, the other Roman cities have more or less completely disappeared, just maybe the odd fragment here and there. You're standing in the covered pavement area along Watling Street. And that street, Watling Street, ran all the way to Dover and then onwards to Rome. So that's this is the market area. Oh, the rain's coming. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, Wroxeter in the landscape. Okay, unfortunately, I have to make a run for it. Okay, I'm in. Well, I don't know if you can call it. Well, on the outskirts of the little village of Wroxeter, and of course the Roman. City we just went round wasn't it had a Latin name. I can't remember. Well, I got the pronoun very colonial or something. Yeah, so, but this church here has got dates from Saxon times, and has got some of the pilfered Roman stones used in its construction. I parked here in front of that gate, but it looks like it hasn't been opened for years, so should be all right. Okay. Now, okay, I think these, yeah, gate posts. Yeah, well, one of the they're artifacts pilfered from the, or used, I should say, because everyone was, yeah, the Roman colonnades, I think. Yeah, you're looking at Roman over 2,000 years, eh? Those stones. Right. Okay. There's another shower on the way, but I think I'm lucky so far. I've been all right. Yeah. Well, it's an autumn day. It's a typical autumn day. You might say change of seasons. Now I'm walking around the outside of the church, and that you see is a bricked-in Roman, Norman, not Roman, Norman. Yeah, Norman doorway there. The difference when the sun comes out. Everything looks a lot better. Look at that, a little picturesque. I don't know if it's actually half timbered, but in the village of Wroxeter, probably got good price tags on. Right. When you step through the doorway, you've got that quite a pleasant smell of. It's a musty smell of an old church. I say this originally was a Saxon church, but it has of course been modernised over the centuries, and I think it was considerably enlarged from the Saxon church. Now here's the first interesting feature. That, funny enough, is the upturned base. It's now used as a font of a Roman column. Yeah, muy interesante. Right. So, and that's I think that was the chest, padlock chest, where they kept all the, church, the parish records, I think, amongst other things, back in the good old days. Right. So, okay. Now this is no longer an active church. It's, again, it's maintained by, by an organisation that rescues these, would be abandoned churches, you might say, no longer, as I say, in this secular age. And of course the village of Wroxeter itself is only very small. Nice. You can help yourself to a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, very nice. Or have a drink of water. Say these volunteers do a good job of, but luckily I think most people come to the, about a mile down the road, the Roman city. It's come to see that. But I like this, these old churches. Okay. Yeah, very good. Now, I'm not sure how well it's fairly, the light isn't, but this is apparently one of the features of this old church. These excellent effigies, right, of the, looks like it's written in Latin, but dignitaries back in, I think back in the 16th century, So I presume this is where they were, they're ensconced, you might say, in those tombs with the effigies on top. There's another, well, kind of like a lord and lady, you might say, whether they're actually lords, but certainly dignitaries of some kind. Right. There is information on this on the website, on the internet, and there's another one over there. So that's one of the features of this church, are these excellent effigies. And I mean, these churches are just basically, you're going back into, well, I suppose this church is large, the interior to some extent is mainly 18th century, but yeah. But as I say, the church has existed since Saxon times. It was probably built from stone from the abandoned Roman city. Right there, so there's 3 excellent effigies here. I can't read that. It might be in Old English. Yeah, so yeah, I think there's a date of 1570 there. Right, so it's a long time ago, put it that way. Just a short visit to this interesting old church. I believe that pulpit there is Jacobean, which I think refers to the reign of James I, who was a Catholic. But of course the Protestants basically dominated, well, the Church of England. Okay. Yes, they've even got here the, if you can play, you know how to, well, those ancient pedals. Yeah, you got to lift this up without causing it. No, well, no, it's the organ. Yeah, yeah, you can play the organ here. Yeah, so they had I think the organ pipes are up the far end. Yeah, right there somewhere. There's another one in the refreshment area. Okay, the sun's shining, which there's the inside of the church there. Okay, that's a good church.